Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Playing on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick Podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
SICK is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. SICK, 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 SICK,
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
SICK is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Playing on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick Podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
SICK is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. SICK, 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 SICK.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to the Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche And after 22 years, Raymond Mark!
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here on the Sick Podcast Network, and another edition of On Campus Friday here as we go around the world of college hockey. And today, Pierre, McGuire, we are going to be joined by Union head coach Josh Hauge, who will be with us in Belfast for the Friendship Four at the end of November for the men's Friendship Four tournament. And he is joining us here right now on the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network. Hey, Coach.
How you guys doing?
Great. And you?
Doing well, thank you.
Good.
Good stuff. So, Coach, first off, congratulations on the new arena. As we were just saying off the air, it went up quite fast. You guys must be psyched to get going in there, huh?
Yeah, had our first couple skates. The guys are really enjoying it. We're kind of breaking it in piece by piece. The weight room and everything was done. Hot and cold tubs just kind of got, finished 2 days ago. So the guys started taking advantage of that stuff. So, everything's coming along, but it's nice to have all our facilities right in one spot now.
Hey, Coach, I don't think people realize the great hockey tradition that is Union College. I was around when Charlie Morrison was coaching. I remember when Ned Harkness had Steve Baker in goal before he went to the New York Rangers. I played games in Achilles Arena. It's an amazing hockey lore. Obviously, the 2014 run to the final and winning the NCAA tournament. When you took the job from Clarkson, were you aware of just how much energy and passion there was around the Union College hockey program?
No, I wasn't aware of just how many loyal supporters there are. The alumni base is very giving here. They really support the program. And then there's just such a tradition and history, going back to the D3 days, and you don't realize how good those teams were. They had some, teams back then where their D3 teams were beating Division I teams. So a lot of great players have been through here, and it's been fun to get to meet everyone.
Coach, just looking at that, back to the new arena, how much does that help in terms of recruiting? Because we see so many schools that are either renovating or putting up new facilities, new training facilities. How much do you think this is going to help boost your recruiting?
Well, I think it went from, and nothing against, Mesa and the building at Achilles, because it was great and it was loud and it was fun, but it didn't have any of the amenities that the newer buildings have. And when you bring a recruit in, certain players loved it. They thought, oh, this is a lot of history and tradition here, but it also turned some players off, where now we have a building that, it fits what everybody would want. And everybody's really excited about it. So it opens up, for us to bring in a different quality, a level of player. I really like what we have, but it opens the doors with some other guys.
One of the cool parts about the ECAC is your travel partner. And obviously RPI Union is a legendary thing. Clarkson, Cornell, or Clarkson, St. Lawrence, Cornell, Colgate, the drill. I don't have to tell you. You've coached in the league long enough. New coach at RPI, Eric Lang. You're the old guy. What advice do you have for Eric Lang coming in?
He doesn't need any advice from me. He's, he's a great man, and we'll do great things there. But it's, it's nice to have someone new in the area, and I'm trying right now. He's got a little guy that's the same age as my little guy. I'm trying to get him to play on the same team together. So it's good to have another good hockey person in the area. So excited to get the rivalry going with him.
Coach, we're big proponents of the ECAC here, fans of all the schools there, and Pierre obviously has done some work there, announcing work. What does it mean to you to be part of that conference, and what is so great about it to you?
Well, I think in the landscape of college hockey right now, a lot of things have changed, and there's, the value of what the ECAC brings to their players, that hasn't changed. You still get an amazing degree. You get, to play against some world-class oppositions, and it's great hockey. So, I think right now we got to get everybody aware of how good the hockey here is in our conference. And I thought, with what Cornell did last year in the NCAA tournament, what Quinnipiac did a few years back, I think people are realizing it, but I don't think they realize how good the conference is from top to bottom. So I think, for us, it's to keep pushing and make sure that Union's doing our part to represent the conference.
How much are you going to be involved in recruiting major junior hockey players, Coach?
Well, the last couple weekends I've been up in Ontario and, watching. And, for us, we have the luxury that we're players in those leagues can get over here in a day drive. Like you have the Q and the O that are, you can get to games in three hours, so it's not that far. I think you're seeing more players go on that route. But at the end of the day, too, we're not gonna get away from the USHL, North American League, BCHL, those leagues. But it just does open up a lot more players for us.
Speaking of the USHL, you coach there. For our listeners, just Pierre and I are always advocating for it as well. But just what did you love about being in that league and how it helps develop players?
Well, it's a players' first league, and they really do a good job of preparing them for college hockey. And my time there, had some amazing players. Guys like Trevor Moore and players that are playing in the National Hockey League right now that are unbelievably talented. Mikey Isimont. The list could kind of go on and on of different guys that you're either coaching or coaching against. And I think they do a great job preparing their players. The travel's pretty easy. You get the week to, still have some strength and conditioning, and guys are in school doing a good job. So a lot of great coaches and good atmospheres as well.
One of the most amazing atmospheres you'll partake in is going to be at the Friendship Four in Belfast. It's an amazing event that's sponsored by the Odyssey Trust, and you'll see when you get there, Coach. It's unbelievable. I'm just curious, do you utilize that with your recruiting at all? Are you trying to sell that to players and say, hey, look, we're participating in some huge events?
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to participate in 2017 when we won it with Clarkson, and it goes down as a bucket list. Like for me, if something I got to do and then achieve and be a part of to win the Bell Pot, and it was really cool. So for us, we talked about it. We've been, we hit the transfer portal pretty hard this off season, and we were able to bring in some key guys. And a big part of that was talking about the Friendship Four.
That's great.
When you're over there, we had Steve Thornton on yesterday from the Belfast Giants. And obviously we just talked about sort of the foundation and the ideas behind the tournament. What struck you most about the reception of the locals to you guys? Yeah,
you go and you visit the schools and you get to be a part of like the culture and the community.
Right.
I had no idea of just all the history and tradition, one around the hockey side of it in Belfast, but then just, being able to go see the Titanic Museum and, tour the jail and the Black Cab tours and just all the things we did as far as, being a tourist and being a hockey player. But everybody was so great to us, whether you're, in a local establishment, enjoying a drink there, or you're just, talking hockey with someone on the street.
Doug Christensen's the commissioner of the ECAC. I don't have to tell you that. He's a union guy. So how much do you talk to him at all about maybe some direction or things that are happening in the league?
Well, and he's got a great wealth of hockey knowledge. You look at, as far as commissioners go, played at a high level, coached at a high level, has done a lot of different things. So for us, we'd be silly not to utilize them. He was just here this week. They had the women's ECAC meetings just right across the street from the rink. So we're able to, was able to pick his brain a little bit, just talk hockey with him, and then, have our guys ask him questions and, talk about what the union degree meant for him and just what his hockey life and hockey journey has been.
Coach, when we do On Campus Friday, when we talk to the coaches, we always like to get sort of the history or what led you into coaching. So if you tell our listeners and viewers just a bit, what was your motivation to get into coaching? Was there a mentor you can look at, mentors? What led you to your path into this job?
Yeah, for me, it was one of those things. Like, I grew up in Minnesota and, was an okay hockey player, but I always thought like I wanted to coach. That's what I wanted to do. From the time I was in 8th grade, that's kind of what I thought I wanted to do. I thought it would be in the Minnesota High School Hockey League, coaching high school hockey and being a teacher. That's what I thought I was going to do. When I was my last year of college, I took an internship just coaching a junior B team and just trying to help out. And at the end of the season, they offered me the job, and I took it, and it's just kind of been a crazy path for me to go from being a junior B assistant coach to getting to be a junior A coach, to being a USHL coach, to a college coach, to now a college head coach. So I never really thought I'd be at this level. I've had a lot of amazing players that have kind of carried me through this and helped me get to where I'm at now. So really grateful for that. But I think it started for me with Rob Profit up in Fairbanks, Alaska. He took a chance on me when I was, just a brand new coach to go up and be an assistant in the North American League, and kind of taught me what hard work was all about. You look at Fairbanks in the North American League, the tons of travel, really have to fundraise a lot and have a lot of sponsorship, and the amount of hours and time he puts in, just watching how hard someone has to work to make a program and an organization to be successful. I don't think I can ever look past him.
I've watched your team play a lot of games over the last 3 and 4 years, both on the road and at home. And the thing that strikes me about your teams in particular, when you play at home, and I'm going to call it Achilles, even though I know they call it Mesa. I'm dating myself. But anyways, how did you establish that unbelievable presence you guys have on home ice? Because you were a very difficult team to beat at Mesa, Achilles. Now you're going down to Mohawk Harbor. How are you going to bring that same energy down to a new building?
Well, I think it starts for us with the Garnet Blades and how much they support the program, and people that just give back, and we want to be a program that gives back no matter what we're doing. So our opportunity at home is to give back by an extreme work ethic, and for us that's how we want to practice, and we want to make practice so difficult that the games seem easy. So we've been competing pretty hard here this first week. The great thing about this group is I have not had to ask them to work hard one time. That's kind of ingrained in them right now. They work, and it's been a lot of fun. I know it's the honeymoon period. We're only 5 or 6 practices in right now, but it's been a lot of fun this season thus far, and we can make a lot more plays than we have in previous years.
That's great.
Coach, I just want to get back quickly to the whole CHL NCAA agreement. When you start to first learn about this, when the whispers were starting, and then it builds and builds and gets to where we are, how did you start to plan ahead? What was your first thought? Okay, this is how I'm going to have to change recruiting wise, or this is what I'm going to have to do to succeed here. How did your plan develop with that?
Well, I really think our plan is kind of still evolving, and we're trying to learn as we go. When you look at it for us, we were not a team that hit it hard right away. We were a little more patient, and I think one is when you have we have 9 seniors that are going to be on our team this year. We had the luxury of not having to replace a huge class. So we were able to be a little bit more patient with it. Then when John Prokop signed with Toronto, we started exploring it a little bit because we thought maybe that was going to be our best path to replace him. But then it sort of happened that we got Will Felicio from Michigan. We got Tyler Dunbar from Colorado College. We got Carter Rose from Clarkson, and those guys out of the transfer portal, we felt were the best additions we could make at the time instead of looking at the CHL route. So, for us, it just ended up being the transfer portal where we hit. Now we've started to really dive into those leagues. As a staff, we've kind of divided them up. Each coach is responsible for one league. And then from there, we'll kind of just narrow it down to a pool of players that we're going to look at when we have to make decisions. And
go ahead. Sorry.
When you're replacing 9 seniors now, it's going to be an area where we have to dive into this year.
When I was doing your job, they used to call them family advisors. I don't think people are swayed by that anymore. They know it. They're agents. But anyways, that being said, how much do you guys have to interact with family advisors and or agents because of this new rule in particular?
Well, and I think you've kind of seen it on social media a little bit right now, but some of the CHL teams are much more receptive to college teams than others right now. And so when a team isn't receptive, a family advisor and agent becomes really important, because if you want to communicate, there has to be someone you're talking with. So I think for us and for me as a head coach, that's a big part of my job right now, is making a call to an advisor every single day and just, hey, who do you got? Who's looking at a school like Union, who values their education but still wants to be a pro? Because, at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want guys that want to be pros, but whenever that career is done, hopefully it's a long pro career, they have a really good education to fall back on.
Jimmy, it's amazing, huh?
Yeah.
What the coach just said, because we agree with everything you just said.
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time.
Yep.
Coach, I'll date myself, but I tried to recruit Marty Brodeur when he was 16 years old from a team in Montreal called Montreal Bourassa Midget AAA. let me tell you something right now. If you didn't have a little bit of moxie, you weren't getting in and out of the rink alive. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, it's interesting right now, and it's amazing how some coaches will just welcome me with open arms into their locker rooms, and others are just don't even come near me. So,
well, Jimmy, that's the thing. What coaches talked about is very true, because now I'm seeing that they're saying if you're an NCAA college coach in some major junior situations, you're going to have to buy a ticket. There's no more free passes to get into the rink, which that's kind of big. And I'll be honest, like I find that against the spirit of cooperation. Because they're actually, I think colleges are doing the major juniors a favor, and I think eventually the colleges will continue to do favors for the major junior operators. I just believe that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I noticed too, Pierre. We've talked about. You're talking about the old mentality that they had back then. Some are changing, but we see who was the commissioner? Was it the Western Hockey League commissioner that flat out said, "I don't like this at all, and I don't want to be part of this"?
Yeah, it was WHL, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's interesting to see how some are still holding on. But I think once they start to see that it's good, as we discussed this yesterday, Pierre, I think once they start to see the benefits, they're going to realize it's not the end of the world. Right now, there's a little doom and gloom. But, Coach, I don't know if you agree with me. It's starting to everybody's starting to get on the same page a little more.
Yeah, and I think you've seen some players that they probably wouldn't have gotten that are going there now at 17 or 18 or, even some 19, 20-year-olds that went that, maybe wouldn't have done it. So I know we have a couple guys that are committed that probably wouldn't have went that path, but are now playing in those leagues.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So it's going to be a double-edged sword. Yeah, the college are going to take some of the players, but you watch a lot of those Big Ten schools like Union that are proactive in terms of pursuing this, UMass Amherst, some of those schools, they're going to be sending kids, hey, you're 16 years old, you're going up there. That's where you're going to go. You're going to go play there. Yeah, so it's going to help those. I don't think overagers are going to spend a lot of time in major junior. I think a lot of them are going to be coming down and play for guys like Coach, but I think it's still going to be mutually beneficial for both sides, especially the major junior guys. They're going to get some players they never would have got before.
Yeah, I agree. Coach, listen, we appreciate you taking the time, and we wish you the best of luck this season. Enjoy the new arena. I hope that Pierre and I get up there at some point this season. I'm sure Pierre will be, but I'll try to make it up as well.
Yeah, you guys are welcome. You want a tour, let me know. We'll be happy to show you around. Got the casino right next door with some hotels. Plenty of restaurants, a lot of things to do around the area.
Coach, we'll give you a tour of the Harp in Belfast where we do all our shows. We can't wait. There's a part of the Harp upstairs that's spectacular. It's all wood from the Titanic. It's pretty amazing.
It's like a throwback pub.
It's unbelievable. It really is.
And the Harry Lemon too. We'll have to get
Lemon in
Dublin.
Yeah, we'll get you there too. You'll see. It's a different kind of experience.
We'll help you out for sure. We appreciate it, Coach. Best of luck.
Thank you.
We'll see you in Belfast.
Sounds great, guys. Look forward to it.
Thank you very much, Coach.
All right, Union head coach Josh Hauge joining us here on the iTest on the Sick Podcast Network. Pierre, I had never been to the old arena. You seem to rave about it. What was it like? I mean, just a great
it was a torture test if you were the visiting team, because the fans are right on you, and they fill the building up pretty well there. Actually, more times than not, the building is full. It's very intimate, let's put it that way. And the team definitely plays different at home than they do on the road. They bring a lot of physical animosity to the game, let's put it that way. And they're very good at home, very good.
I feel like, Pierre, and you would know better than me because you've been to way more college rinks and way more conferences than me, but I feel like just based on my experience, the ECAC is still one of those arenas where you can find those old classic barns. There's more in that conference than maybe other conferences. And also just the way they're proud of that mystique and prestige and their history.
They should be. You go into Houston Fieldhouse for Big Red Freakout and good luck, buckle up. I've coached in it. I've watched my son play in it. I've scouted it. It's a hard place to play. You go up to Appleton Arena for a Clarkson St. Lawrence game in Appleton and Canton, New York. Good luck if you're the visiting team. And that thing, I've coached in that and scouted it. That's a whole other level. You go into Liner Rink down in Ithaca, New York, and I've told you, and everybody will tell you, it's obviously one of the best home ice advantages in hockey. The fans are great. The atmosphere is great, and it's hard. Like that is a torture test. It really is. Obviously at Union, I call it Achilles because that's what it was forever. Then Mesa sponsored it, but hard, really hard. Even Bright at Harvard is hard.
Yeah.
You know, they're all different. Thompson at Dartmouth now, you know, they're starting to fill that place up, and that's a loud building. When it's full, it's a loud, hard building. So they're all different, but they're all cool. They're all, I don't know if one, even look at Hobie Baker just had it all redone.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, Jimmy, that's a hard place to play.
Yeah. You know what I love about, I mean, at least at the college hockey level, you can do this, right, Pierre, because the arenas are small. There's less capacity.
Right.
So some of these new places that are going up aren't like we saw, you know, in the wave of new arenas in the NHL back in the 90s, early 2000s. They're basically cookie cutters, to be honest. But you can kind of keep your individuality when you're either renovating a college arena or building a brand new one.
Great point. Really good point. I agree. I think, you know, for those that are a little older and that have been to Clarkson, Walker Arena was a tough place. I mean, it was as hard as playing in the old Boston Garden or the Odd in Buffalo. It really was. And that's how Billy O'Flaherty built his teams. And, you know, Billy was a legendary coach there and still is a legendary person in Potsdam, New York. And before him, obviously, the great, I'm losing my mind here, Jerry, the coach, Jerry York. I'm going to call him Jerry Fallis, the football coach at Notre Dame, Jerry York. He is phenomenal there too. They built their teams with big, physical, tough guys, and that's what Walker was. And if you were to talk to anybody that went to a lot of games at Walker, the one thing you didn't want to hear if you're the visitor was the bell. After every goal, there was this obnoxious bell that they would ring, and it was big, and it was loud, and it was in your face. But they all, like I'm telling you, that's the thing. You nailed it, Jimmy. All the ECAC rinks they're like different. Every one of them is different, and they have personality. They really do. All of them do.
And then, of course, to have their, you know, tournament championship game in Lake Placid, just it off right there. Because you don't even have to explain the mystique of that place, Pierre. I mean, you walk in and you feel it right away.
You were there last year. We'll be back there again this year, thanks to Commissioner Christensen. And it's, you know, Jimmy, you know, you were there. Like, you feel it. You walk up and down the main street in Lake Placid, New York. You know there was something special that happened there a long time ago.
Yeah.
You just know it.
You know it when you get in there. It's just certain places like that. All right, Pierre, before I wanted some NHL topics I want to get into before we close it out, but I want to get to our sponsors. And first of all, as you and the coach are discussing, we will be at the Friendship Four in November, at the end of November, last week of November. Really looking forward to that. First stop in Dublin for a day, and then up on to Belfast to start the pre-festivities and pre-tours. We're going to take part in a lot of these tours now with the teams this year. We're looking forward to that. So really excited. Big thanks to our good friends at Cara Group Travel and Sarah Stanton, of course, the Belfast Giants, Stevie Thornton, and Robert Fitzpatrick. I can't wait to see them over there, Pierre.
I'm really excited. Absolutely can't wait to
that got me excited. And by the way, I urge everybody, we had Stevie Thornton on yesterday, and we were reminiscing about the life of the late Mark Bavis, and then also just Boston University hockey. And, you know, we talk about mystique. Enough is said about the mystique there, and it's all true. But it was really interesting stuff to learn about what it was like for him to be mentored sort of as a player and a person by legendary Jack Parker, who's going into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you know, I'm really happy for Coach Parker and his family. His grandson, Shane LaChance, last night got in a huge fight in a rookie game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Columbus versus New Jersey. He fought Eric Bolton's son, who I believe they were teammates with the Islanders, or maybe Scotty LaChance, the father, had been gone. But it was, you know, good battle. And some good hockey played last night between Jersey and Columbus. Jersey ended up pulling away from them. Scored, I think, 5 unanswered goals late in the game. But yeah, no, Jack Parker's a living legend. He really is. And I'm so happy for him and all the people at Boston University that he's going to the Hockey Hall of Fame.
And let us, of course, tell you about our other sponsor, Betway, where you can go all the way right now and bet the beauties with Betway. Join the action right now. You can go right there for a new account to that QR code in front of you if you're watching. Otherwise, go to the website and the details section, sign up for your new membership there, and you can get up to $200 back in credit on your first bet, even if you lose. Terms and conditions apply. You must be 18 plus, always bet responsibly. And unfortunately, right now, not available in Ontario. But like I said, just cross over the border into Quebec and you can do it right there.
Hey, I got to ask you, because I was following this too last night, the football game. You bet the over. Did it hit or did it miss by one?
By 4 points. 4 points and missed by. So you know what happened too, Pierre? They
I was thinking of you. I was thinking of you because there were a lot of points left on the board that never, got on the board.
It was surprising because Washington was trailing a bit. I think they were down by 2 touchdowns and they scored, and then they had another chance, but instead they went for a field goal. And I think anyone with the over was saying, "No, go for the touchdown, get it." But it was a great game. I'm really, Pierre, I'll tell you what.
Green Bay's for real. Green Bay's for real.
Your defense.
Now, to be fair, though, both their first 2 games were at Lambeau. Lambeau's a whole other animal. Yes. It's a whole other animal. They have to go on the road.
I mean, that defense, and not just Micah Parsons, like the defense as a whole really seems to be suffocating the opposing offenses. So that's a team to watch. But, of course, you got college football that already started for the weekend, and then you got big games tomorrow. I'll be watching my Irish host Texas A&M, big game in South Bend. And then, of course, NFL on Sunday. So get over to their Betway right now. And you also can start looking ahead to the NHL season with the futures they're offering there. Pierre, before we go, just more news right now coming out about the Kaprizov situation. The Wild, through multiple outlets, is denying the report yesterday that came out that they had submitted a trade list to Kaprizov. And we're not.
No. They asked Kaprizov to submit.
Yes, excuse me. Yeah.
I just want everybody so we're clear. Yeah.
So they were asking him to submit his trade list, and this has been it kind of reminds me of politics right now and everything that's going on. There's just so many reports getting thrown out there, Pierre, that are irresponsible and not confirmed. And if I'm the agent or I'm Bill Guerin right now, it's got to be tough because that can sway a negotiation one way or the other, right? Because the agent's going to see something and call up Bill and say, "What the heck was that? Why am I reading that? Did you say?" It's been a really, in my opinion, difficult situation for both the agent and the GM to calm the temperature on. It's just like, what's going on here?
I'm going to give free advice like I've given you before. Study what Tampa Bay did with Steven Stamkos. Study what Ottawa did with Brady Tkachuk.
Mm-hmm.
Just study those 2 negotiations because they're very similar.
Yep.
Because the people in Ottawa actually used the same negotiation skills that they saw happen with Tampa, because Donnie Meehan and Patrick Morris and Craig Oster represented Steven Stamkos and also represented Brady Tkachuk. So you study negotiation tactics, and you don't be rude to people in the media. And the other way around, if you're the agent, you don't have to go after the team because they're not coming after you.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gone on in this one. This one's a weird one. I'm just telling you, something happened here. I don't know what, because there's way too much. It's either misinformation or disinformation on purpose.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering about.
And I don't know how that's happened, because I can tell you right now, it's inappropriate towards the team. I believe the Wild. I do. And I don't think the agent's doing anything wrong. Something's gone on here. Something kaflooey's gone on from outside. I don't know how or why, but something's gone on in this.
Because I can just tell you, in talking to people with both the team and the agent, it was very harmonious up until about a week ago. I mean, throughout the summer, even back to last season when we had the Wild owner on here, Pierre, it was very clear that both sides felt the same, and let's get this done. And then all of a sudden, it just went off the rails. Well, let's hope they get it back on the rails.
No, they have to. He's a critically important player. Look, they have a good team. Minnesota's got a good team, and Billy's done a really good job stabilizing. I think one of the things I think they miss, and I'm going to say this, and Ray Sherrill passing away brought a lot of veteran experience and stability and some mentorship to Billy. And Billy's been the first person to admit that. Mm-hmm. It's hard to find guys like that. It really is. But I think Billy's done a masterful job with that group. Johnny Hines is a really good coach. Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, Jack Capuano is as good or better than any assistant in the league. If there's expansion, I believe there will be. His name better be near the top of the list to be a head coach of an expansion team. Just telling you. Yeah. So they got a lot of stuff going on there. Matt Hendricks, is one of the top guys out there for running American League teams and East Coast League teams. He's a guy that's been through it all as a player and as a management person, as a skill development coach. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm just telling you, Jimmy. I I don't know how this thing got off the rails. I feel terrible because he's a really important player, obviously.
Yep, I agree. All right, and the final topic, too, that I want to talk to you about, too. A lot of people have their eyes on New Jersey Devils this weekend to see if the team and Luke Hughes can come to an agreement on a new contract. Pierre, we've discussed this and we've made it very clear. And I think a lot of people are on board with what we're saying here all the time, that you want to get these things done before you report to camp or before the preseason games start, because as we saw with the Boston Bruins and Jeremy Swayman last year, it can spiral out of control in a hurry.
Yeah, no, and he's obviously needs contract, so he's got to get going. The good news for the team, though, one guy that played really well last night's a former teammate of Luke Hughes at Michigan, Seamus Casey, on defense. He played really well for Jersey last night. He's a real, I know he started the season up because of injuries last year, but he went to the American League and he did his chores. And Utica was a marginal team last year in the American League. Unfortunately, they fired a friend of mine, Kevin Deneen, as coach. Ryan Parent went in with Eric Weinrich, and they did a nice job getting some energy back in that thing. But if I think New Jersey's now got Seamus Casey, or they're like, hey, you know what? If we can't get Luke signed, well, we got this guy that can come in and play a little bit. I still think, obviously, they want Luke back, and Luke, I'm sure, will eventually get back there.
Speaking of the Hughes, too, I was listening. It was a great interview with Quinn Hughes on the 32 Thoughts podcast, Pierre. And I was really, Quinn obviously had a tough up and down year with injuries and everything. But then on top of that, all the drama that went on around that team, he came right out. And I don't think any of it was his fault. I think you'd agree with me. But he came out and took the blame right away, saying, it's my job to kind of navigate us through stuff like that. And I'm set to prove that I can going forward. And I was really impressed with that maturity and leadership that Quinn Hughes was showing.
Yeah, I bet he had a lot of talks with his father and his mother. His mother was a leader. She was a really good player at UNH. She was a tremendous player on the national team, the Olympic team. And his dad, obviously, was a real good player at Providence and did some really good things playing in the minor leagues. But his dad's been around a lot of winning. The father's a very, very competitive person. So I'm sure there was a lot that went into the summer in terms of, and this is where I think, people say this all the time. Oh, well, he's got an advantage because he's in a hockey family. Yeah, you do. And I'll tell you why. Because people that come from a hockey family have actually got people ahead of them that can mentor them because they've been through all this stuff.
Right.
And it does give you an advantage. It really does. It doesn't mean it gives you an athletic advantage, but it gives you an advantage in terms of understanding situations and how to get through them in a better way than maybe somebody that hasn't been through them.
Yep. So I'll be interested to watch him this year. I think after that, I could see a big bounce back year for him. So we'll look at that. Well, listen, we want to thank Shane working the boards up there in Montreal for us. Of course, thank Union head coach Josh Hauge. And to all the listeners and the viewers out there, thank you for all your support here. And I know on Fridays we don't have the Q&A, but we miss you. It's our favorite part, and we'll get back to you on Monday. But until then, everybody out there, have a great weekend. Enjoy the nice weather if it's nice where you are. And we will talk to you here on Monday on the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.